identity. Hey, it's a good day. It's a good day to have a good day. So I hope that you all are having a good day, a good Tuesday. I almost want to break out with "Bring the Beat In" like Tabitha Brown, but I don't have a song. It's Tuesdays, 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 but I don't have a chance. My husband's not here, so it's just me. I had a meeting this morning with, oh my goodness, you guys. I have been on a journey to get my license here in Rwanda, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. But first, if you are here, I want you to put a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know you are here. You can ask questions throughout the video. I'm not going to be very long. I want to be thorough and I want to be detailed and give some information. Definitely want to really explain my experience in trying to transfer professional here in my career as a physical therapist, physiotherapist, they call it here. Um, but I want you all to engage because engagement lets the YouTube universe know that this conversation matters. So please do like the video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and chat. And you can put comments even later if you're not on this live right now. But it tells the algorithm that people are interested in this type of information, this type of content, that people are talking about things going on in Africa and that there is some interest there, so that when other people search for this type of information, they can see it pretty readily when they do a Google search or they go on YouTube. That's really important that our conversations are reaching people that really need to hear the information. So I see the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I arrived here in Kigali in August 14th of last year, 2022. And some of you all have heard my husband and my story. We wanted to really be able to world school our children and travel around. And we were praying for international or global remote work from home jobs that met our qualifications, our skill set, or our passions or interests. And we had several that we applied for, some that we even interviewed for. One of the biggest obstacles was time zone. Because they're international or global, a lot of them wanted you to be available to work during the Eastern Standard Time Zone and have access to you as their employee and for you to be able to communicate and work with clients during that time zone. So those of you who are looking into moving abroad and you don't have the kind of job that's like computer graphics or web design or something like that, that you can work whenever you want, but you want to work a job that pays you your country's currency, consider that it might be a challenge or a barrier to have the time zone as an issue. And there was a time when I was thinking, well, I could work at night, but then you have to think, we had children, they have to be taken to school in the morning, got to get up and help get them ready. So it just wasn't going to work for us, and the opportunities that came to us just were not feasible. So they are there, you just got to dig. There are a lot of YouTube channels that provide links and names of companies and job opportunities for work from anywhere type jobs, which is what we were hoping for. So since that did not pan out, and I was getting confirmation, just my conscience, God was saying He was sending people to me for advice and suggestions and recommendations. Let me get out of the shade a little bit. I came to a park area, lush and green, so that I would have the opportunity to sit down outside and tell you all about this journey. And one thing is, when I left the meeting, I decided to walk a little bit because Rwanda is definitely a place where you can walk. In the city of Kigali, there are sidewalks everywhere. And as I was walking, I was like, you can walk anywhere in Kigali because the sidewalks are endless, because it's a walking community. It's less expensive to walk than it is to purchase a car and have to pay customs taxes and all the costs of insurance and things like that. Importing a car is very expensive. So a lot of people walk, which means there are a lot of sidewalks, which was welcoming to me this morning. I do a lot of walking here. And as I was walking, it's when I thought it's the perfect time to do this video and share with you all what it has taken me to get to this point in trying to become licensed as a physical therapist in Rwanda. So, as I was starting to say, I arrived in August. We did not end up getting the work from anywhere, global or international jobs that we were praying for and that we were claiming and expecting. Um, so, of course, you have to have income. We have to educate our children, take care of our expenses and bills and what have you. So, then, as I said, people were coming to me asking me for advice, um, telling me about the different ailments and physical impairments and challenges that they were having, and kind of confirming to me, you need to get out there and do physical therapy because it's very needed here in Kigali because it's a new profession. It's pretty much a baby. They will just be graduating their first master's program class this year, 2023. It's their first program. It's a 2-year program for the master's. Prior to that, they had a bachelor's equivalent, and I got to tour the university and talk to the dean and everything. So it's a very new profession, and they need skilled and experienced clinicians who have been doing this for a long time because that is not something that they have here. So people do that. You need to get into it. I treated a couple people in their homes, did some consultation in my home. They had relief. Okay, so this is God telling me you need to go ahead and this is what you need to do. So of course I look online and I Google process for obtaining a license for physical therapy in Rwanda or physiotherapy. I looked up the physiotherapy board, a board of physiotherapy in Rwanda, and I was taken to the websites for the different entities. The first that usually comes up is the Rwanda Allied Health Professions Council, RAHPC, and you can go in there and it wasn't very clear to me. I just needed to know what steps I need to go through to get a license. So I eventually, after clicking on several different ones, I was taken to the requirement list. Here is the form. Online it looks just like this. This is just a printed copy. You can see the seals and whatever. And then the list of things, right? Okay, so what applied to me? A well-filled application form at irembo.gov, and I was told that they involved Irembo because they deal with immigration as well, and there are people who try to get licenses or get equivalents who bring false documentation or really aren't valid in what they're saying that they are claiming to get equivalents for, so they involved the immigration office. Okay, so you need a well-filled application form that you'll fill out on irembo.gov.rw with the necessary information, including an official email of the awarding institution. So in the application on Irembo for equivalence, they will ask for a contact name and number and email address for the institution that awarded the degree. You have to have a notarized copy of certificate or degree from which the equivalence is applied. Again, notarized copy, they asked for a notarized copy, but in order to get it notarized, and I went to RDB to get my documents notarized, you have to have the original degree. So I had to have my family to pull out the degrees out the frames. I had those and took the original so that they could see the seal, authenticate and verify the real degree, and then they will notarize the copy, and then you scan and upload that to the application. A copy of the admission letter offered by the institution that issued the degree, which I found very unnecessary, and found out that you did not have to include that because obviously if you have a degree, you went to the school, so why should you need a copy of the admission letter offered by the institution? So that's number 3 on the list, but I called and they said, no, you don't need to worry about that, thankfully. I don't know if that'll apply to everybody. My hair is just bugging me, you guys, I'm sorry. So I'm just saying, in my story, I called and I said, I'm going to have degrees. I have those are notarized. Do I need to have an application letter? That I went to college in the 90s. So, okay. So anyway, so then a notarized copy of the academic transcript, okay, and a notarized copy of the certificate or degree that serves as the basis to be admitted in a level of higher education. So I took that to mean prior to, so I was getting equivalents for my doctorate. The one under that would be my master's, so it would be a copy of the degree that served as the basis to be admitted for the degree for which I am applying for equivalence. You need a copy of the ID card or passport, and There are some other requirements on here. If you just go on the website, www.hec.gov.rw, that's hec.gov.rw, you'll see some of them will apply to you, some of them will not as a foreigner. One of such that I'm talking about is a bursary or loan confirmation letter. As a foreigner, I did not have to present that. I did have to do my travel documents with the passport or my visa. They asked for a recognition letter issued by the accrediting examination body. If you had the PT exam and you recently took it, you can have that letter, but I had not taken mine. It was in 2001, so of course I didn't have that, but they didn't require that, but I had to call to just confirm and make sure. No, and I didn't call because the number that they have on here it didn't answer. It would just ring and ring and ring and ring. And all along my journey, finding out that they were not responding to emails, I ended up going to the Ministry of Education building and finding the office for HEC, Higher Education Council. And there are desks there and there are individuals there that work, but there are no phones on the desk. They do not have official office phones. They use their cell phones. And the reason why I went the first time was because I submitted all of my documentation, and the automatic message that I received from Irembo was that my document was well received, my application was uploaded, and that I should receive the wind is blowing my papers away, that I should receive my certificate of equivalence within 7 days. All right, so I waited. On day 8, I sent an email, I heard nothing. Day 10, I sent an email, I heard nothing. Day 14, I sent an email, I heard nothing, so I went to the office. That's when I went. And then when I went, I stepped to the desk, asked the gentleman for assistance. He asked me for my application number. I gave him my application number. He typed it in the computer. I said to myself, they probably haven't pulled up my documents and verified them and looked at them. I bet you he's printing them up. There's no file for me. Sure enough, he clicks a button, stands up, walks out, comes back in with a stack of papers, which was my paperwork for all of the documents that I had uploaded to the application, y'all, okay? Stay with me. So after emailing and emailing and emailing, after I submitted my application and not getting an update on the status of my application, I finally went to the office. When I got there, they're printing my stuff up for the first time. He looked through it, turned each page over, and said, everything is here. Yes, sir, absolutely. It is. Why haven't I received? So he leaves the office again. He goes to speak to someone. He comes back and he says, okay, we're going to look at it. It should be approved. You can come back. And I was like, why can't that's an inconvenience. I'm going to have my husband bring me, get a cab, whatever the case may be. Yes, it's important, and you do, what you need to do when things are important. But there's an email system going on here, and if you guys would just respond to the email and tell me the status of my application, that can prevent me from having to take a trip. Or if you had a phone, or if you contacted me by phone, because my number is on the application, if you contact me by email and tell me, then I don't have to come down to the office, and I don't have to take up your time. I don't have to inconvenience myself, but I'll do what I need to do. I'm just going to put that out there, but it'd be nice if we could just do it by email. So anyway, I told him okay, and I will wait to hear from someone via email. About 3 weeks went by, and I finally did get an email back, but not from the HEC office, not from Higher Education Council. It was from Irembo that said, let's see, the action. I just went, and he said that all my things are in. They're going to take a look at it, go through my documents, and they will email me and let me know when I can get my certification or the certificate of approval for equivalence. Why is there any preparation? It said on there, please upload the signed contract for employment. Now, remind you guys, no, not the signed contract for employment. Please upload the certificate of registration for your employer. I don't have that document. The person who owns the company or the business would have that. So I got in touch with them. I let them know that this is what is needed for my application. It was not originally requested on that form that I showed you, which is from their website. He says, okay, I'll need to get that. So he has to get that from RDB. It took him a couple of days because he was busy. He had things going on in the office. He was doing some training at the time. So sometimes you're at the mercy of even your employer. 2 weeks went by after contacting him, and I got that document. I was able to scan it and upload it. Okay, now I think I'm good. I'm gonna wait. I'm good, right? I get another email some days later, waiting for further action. I said, what in the world? Please upload a notarized transcript for your bachelor's degree. Oh my goodness. I applied for equivalence for my doctorate. So my doctorate and my master's are notarized and uploaded. My transcript for my doctorate and my master's are notarized and uploaded. And you ask me this. Now I go to upload this information because I did have it. Because when I went to get everything notarized, I got it all notarized at the same time just in case, because that's just how you have to think ahead. I did that. I go to upload it. There's nowhere to upload it because on the application there are only 5 spots available with a plus on the side for you to click to upload your documents. So I email Higher Education Council and Equivalence Office of Equivalency.gov.Rwanda. Every time I send an email, it was sent to both of them, and I explained to them, I'm having some difficulty completing this application because I continue to receive requests for other documents that were not on the original requested form, on the form where you outline what is necessary for the application. I keep getting requests by email for things that are not there. When I get them and I obtain that information and I try to upload it, there are no spots available on the application for me to even do that. So can you please get with Arimbo, design an application that allows several spots, some miscellaneous or something, for people to have access to upload these extra documents that you all are asking for that you have not originally asked for. I said it professionally and politely, but we need to streamline this process and make it more efficient and less frustrating for people, is what I'm thinking to myself. So this is how you can do it. Let me help you. You need to create some spots so that when you ask for things, people can upload the information. So since I could not do that, I have to go to an Arimbo agent, which is there's several offices around town. I had to pay them to scan it in and upload it and add it to the application because they actually could access the application themselves because they work for Arimbo and add that new spot and put in the information. So that happened again twice more where they asked for other information that was not originally requested, that there were no spots for. So finally that was done. Okay, so I'm thinking I am all good. I finally got all 7 things on here, originally requested, newly requested, whatever. All the things are good. I'm good. 7 days go by. I'm checking to find out if I have been approved for this equivalence because I need this in order to move forward to include that document for my application for a license for physical therapy in Rwanda. Wouldn't you know, it says on there in the status, resubmitted, but nothing else. No approval, no nothing. So I go back down to the office in person. Things get done much better in person here. So I go back in person and the original person that I saw, I went back to him, gave him my application number. He says, okay, let me let you speak to somebody. He takes me to an office. The gentleman tells me, oh, you applied for your doctorate? We don't have a doctoral program here. So, and then another woman comes in. She looks through it. She says, well, do you have your high school transcript? I said, ma'am, I'm 45 years old. I graduated from high school in 1995. I don't have that. And furthermore, it's in the U.S. I'd have to, submit and see if they can get it. But I shouldn't need that because I have an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a doctorate. I could not obtain those things without my high school transcript. So I don't see how the high school transcript is going to validate or make, it any more valid the current degrees that I already have. And she looked down. She's like, yeah. Okay, so then the gentleman says, well, why don't you do this? Start all over, just start from scratch. Forget this first application that I had been working on since October, and now it is March of 2023. Don't worry about that. Just start over. Let's do one. You just submitted for your master's degree. We'll look at the master's, and then we'll do the doctorate. So I go back in. I reapply. Fortunately, it only costs 1 Rwandan franc to do the application on Arimbo, so that's not expensive. But the other part of the process, the registration, the first thing that I read to you guys, to start this whole thing, you do the $200 registration as a foreigner, the fee, because you have to submit that and add it with all your other documentations. And then once you have that, you say that you want to register your application for it, and that's $40. So I had done those two things, right? But anyway, so March 1st, he says, just do a master's. We'll start with the master's, and then we'll go to the doctorate. So you only need to put on here your master's and your bachelor's. So I go back, do another application. I take off, I only include what is necessary, included all the new stuff that they had asked for before, because I didn't want them to have to send me any emails asking for that. I wanted to expedite this process. And here it is, May 16th, and I still had not received my equivalence certificate. So last Friday, it is Tuesday, last Friday, I went to the office again, and I said, 2 months ago I applied. On March 1st, I applied as requested for an equivalence for my master's degree. I still have not yet received it. So the gentleman pulled up my information. He looks and he goes, he's so puzzled. I don't understand why you don't have it by now. I said, you and me both. I don't understand either. Please, can you help me? Now, prior to that, I called and I told them that I still had not received it. They said, well, can you just come down to the office, because I don't know who's supposed to have sent you the email with the approval. I said, you can't tell me who is responsible for that in the office? No, ma'am, we work as a team. Well, they didn't say ma'am, but no, we work as a team. What I'm trying to explain to you is that we don't have it, and I cannot give it to you because we need to look at it and have the person that's supposed to look at it to find out why they haven't sent it. Well, who is that person, sir? We work as a team. I don't know. You just come down to the office. Here again, come to the office. So you get inconvenienced. You got to go. I went down, and I get there, and I'm told that the chief of unit is at an exhibition at Camp Kigali, and she's the one who would need to look at that to see why I have not yet received the equivalence, but she's not there. So I can send her an email about the situation and detail the problem and have her to look at it when they get back in the office. We'll look at it on Monday. Y'all, so I had gone down there for nothing, basically. All right? So Friday afternoon, later the afternoon, because I had gone in the morning, I said, I had gotten that gentleman's number. This is the second person in the office whose personal number I had requested, and I had their WhatsApp number. So I said, have you heard back in a response? Have you received a response from the email that you sent out to your chief of unit? Has she said anything to you about my situation? Has she been able to look at it? Did she respond and say she saw the email? He says, let's just look at it Monday. I said, I would appreciate if you at least let me know that she has received it and she's going to look at it. So then he sends me back a message. He said, I see the problem. Your university did not respond well. And I said, what does that mean? So he sent screenshots of emails that were sent to my university and a copy of the letter that was sent to them, official typewritten letter on official Rwandan Higher Education Council letterhead, requesting and explaining the purpose of the request for validation of my attendance at the university and authenticating my degree, which, perfect, that's fine, that makes sense. Okay, because I know people falsify documents. The problem was that it was sent to the university that I graduated with my doctorate from. Okay, now remind you, I was told to forget the doctorate, go with the master's. I got my master's degree from another university, from Howard University. Woo woo, go Bisons. I got my master's and my bachelor's from Howard, and I got my doctorate from Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale. So the original application that I had completed was for my doctorate. It was for Nova. They pulled up the wrong application number or whatever, or used that email and contact information to request verification for my doctorate. At this point, I'm working on my master's for equivalence, so you need to contact Howard. So that's what I told him. I said, the problem is they're not responding. I mean, they should have responded, but you sent it to the wrong university. We are working with application number blah, 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 which is for my master's. So, lo and behold, yesterday, on Monday, I get a call after I let him know, and I sent him screenshots of the application from Irimbo's website, having Howard's information on there and the application number that we should be working with now in 2023. I sent you those screenshots to prove you're working with the wrong information. He said, okay. So yesterday I got a call from the Director General of Higher Education Council. She said, please come in and let's sit down and have a meeting and talk about, see what we can do. I said, at this point, it's been 9 months and I have not been able to get employment. It's been, well, 7 months that I'm on this process. Been here 9 months, 7 months I've been trying to do this so that I can work. I have a contract. He was expecting me to start working much sooner than this so that I can help support my family, but I haven't been able to do that because of the inconsistencies, the inefficiencies, the poor communication, and the lack of good process that occurs here in this office. And I said it respectfully. So here's some of the issues that I have come up against. Here's some of my suggestions. I definitely suggest that you get with the people who designed this application and put it online and make sure that it's efficient and that all the information that is requested has somewhere to go, and that you don't ask for stuff unnecessarily, and you communicate with people and let them know where they are in the process. At least a response. If you're not going to do the initial reaching out to let people know we've received it, this is where you are, because you get an automated email response from Arimbo, but you don't get anything from Higher Education Council, and they're the people that are looking at your information to give you the equivalence. So I explained it to her. She was very apologetic. She said, oh, we've got to do better. She had another colleague in the office. This is the same lady who didn't remember me, but they had asked for my high school transcript, and I reminded her of that. And she said, oh, we've got to do better with our communication. Oh, no, why do we ask for that? No, we shouldn't have asked for that. Then she said, the gentleman told you to start over and that we could not equate your doctorate? Well, no, that's just not true. That's not true. She said, now, we would probably want to start with the master's first and then do but we can equate your doctorate. We just need to verify that. Well, why did he tell you that? I'm like, I'm just sitting there. Well, and she said, well, what can we do to help go forward? We need to expedite this situation. Let's look at this. And so the lady sitting next to her said, well, you have different names on your documents. Why do you have different names? And she showed me the different names. One of them is my well, all of them have my full name. But I said, because I wasn't married when I got my master's degree and my bachelor's. When I was in college, I wasn't married yet. So that's my full family name that my parents gave me. And then when I got married, I said I graduated this year. I got married this year. And so my name changed. I took my husband's name after I got married. So that's what's going to be on my registration and my degrees and my transcripts because I got married. She said, oh, can we have your marriage certificate? I said, you need my marriage. You want to see? Okay. So fortunately, I have an iPhone. I pulled up on files. I said, I got it right here. I'll email it to you this very second while I'm sitting here. I'm going to send you the copy of my marriage certificate, which I made sure that I had notarized and scanned and had on my phone anyway, because the previous times I had to go to get things notarized here in Rwanda. I was like, she asked me for my marriage certificate to prove my name. But they did explain that they have people who are doing a lot of fraudulent things, people coming from other countries on the continent who are saying that they have this degree in this profession and they don't, because they want to be in Rwanda. It's easy to get here, and you hear that. It's easy to transition into Rwanda because you can get a visa easily. You can get a permit. You can apply for things to start businesses and things like that. It's after that where you hit the red tape and the bureaucracy and the unnecessary requests for various things, or the double working. You know, I'm doing this to prove that I have this, but I shouldn't have to do that because I obviously have this if I had that kind of stuff. So it's easy to get here. And so a lot of people from various countries and continents want to come here because getting into the borders is not very difficult. And it's beautiful. The weather's nice, you know, all the things. So people want to come, but then you hit this red tape as a professional. And I have spoken to a pharmacist who opened her own pharmacy but cannot work there. She had to hire a Rwandan pharmacist because she could not get this equivalence in order to get her license. Because in the States, when you go to a pharmacology program, you graduate with a doctorate in pharmacology. They told her, you need a master's. Where's your master's? We need to see your master's degree. She said, I can't do that. You bypass that step in the States. And I have many years of experience. I've worked as a pharmacist. I have this business here. I'd like to work there, but I can't, so we had to hire someone. And so, oh, okay, well, you can do a 1.5 year residency. She's like, I'll think about it. Let me get back to that. Well, you can send us your high school transcript. We need your high school transcript. They asked her for that. The pharmacist with her doctorate was asked for her high school transcript or requested to do a 1.5 year residency here in Rwanda to get the equivalent so that she can get her license, because here they do master's programs, or like, I think like, I don't know, I'm not sure. Then I know a person who is Rwandese by nationality. Her parents are Rwandan. They live here. She lives here. She went to school in the U.S. for a nurse practitioner and passed the test. She's certified. She's registered. She's licensed. She did all of those things that she needed to be in the U.S. She gets here, had to go through this hurdle of equivalence. She said she tried for a year and gave up and just went to work as a nurse in the school because she could not get it. And I informed, while I had audience with this person, I let her know about those stories that I've heard and others. I know others. I'm not even saying here. One is a person in education and other career paths. I know a someone who is a Rwandese national. She's a physical therapist. I met with her, went to lunch just to find out what were her steps that she took in order to work here. And her employer was like, I trust you. You're good. I'm just going to go ahead and hire you. But she could not get it. And her dad is Rwandan and her mother is Swedish. And she came over on a program that was recruiting um, diasporans, I think of Rwandese nationality, but people from other countries. They were doing a recruitment program that would pay her to come and let her bypass that step. But when it expired in 2 years, she needed to reapply and she needed an equivalence, but she didn't get it. I think she decided not to even apply because she had heard of the issue. So I say all that to say, do your due diligence. Talk to the people that you need to talk to. Go in person to these offices and talk to them, and show them your documents. Come with all of your things that have anything to do with your profession. Come with the original, authentic ones. Get them notarized here. Don't get them notarized somewhere else if they haven't already been, because they want to see their own stamps. That's very helpful. You don't expect to necessarily be able to call offices and have office numbers, go down and speak face to face, get numbers and email addresses for the people that you need so that you can establish your career and your profession here, because it's challenging. They want you to come and they say that we welcome you. We want you to contribute. We want your expertise, your skill set, your experience, your knowledge. We want you to help us grow. But then they have all these hurdles in the way that they need to work on. And that was what was acknowledged by this administrator today. I hope moving forward that they will improve it. I asked her if I could pass her name and number on to my friends who have had the same issues, and she said by all means tell them to contact me directly. So I'm hoping that for them, because at this point I was like, forget it, I'm not even gonna worry about it. But I said I'm gonna go to this meeting so I can speak for them on their behalf. Let's see. Hi, Firewall Effects. I have seen other people do it with no issues. Please send me a message. Let me know what career that was, if they needed to go through the Higher Education Council, or tell me what their experience was, because I want to help other people be able to have a no issue type of experience as well. Hi, Anthony Clementson. Why can't you guys come together and approach the government as a collective to sort out this matter? I really wouldn't know how to go about that because I'm not Rwandese, and there are certain nuances and cultural norms and mores here that I would need to be respectful of and aware of to know how to approach the government. Now, let me tell you, I think that I got a phone call from this person, the director general, because I know somebody in a very high position. I know somebody who knows somebody who could do some things and talk to people, and I think that's why she called me. So that was me doing my part. It'd be great if we could get a collaborative. Maybe I need to just put a Facebook post out there. Who else is having difficulty establishing themselves professionally in Rwanda because of barriers, walls, hurdles? Let's get together and do a collaborative. That might not be a bad idea at all. I don't know how effective it would be. I'm hoping that today's conversation with her will move the needle forward significantly. I would love to do a follow-up with them at the office and see. I'm looking for them to communicate with me via email. If not, I'll be back there in person, and I'll ask her, what policies are you guys changing? What are you enacting? Were you able to hear and receive the advice and suggestions that I gave about smoothing out this process and getting procedures that make more sense and that are more efficient? Because we're foreigners coming here and we want to work and we want to contribute, but you got to open the door and help us. I appreciate you all's comments. I hope other people comment as well. And I will see you all on the next Reclaiming Our Identity video. Like This information, you guys, please like it, thumbs up. I thank you for your comments. The engagement is amazing, and share it with somebody so we can get some more subscribers and people can see what's going on in Africa is impacting people, and it matters. It's good stuff. So take care and have a great day. Anthony, you have another comment. If there is one thing I like about that government is that they are willing to listen to investors, okay, and diaspora to improve situations on the ground. I hear that too, that they are open and they're willing to listen, and they're so much more organized than other countries on the continent, which is why she was saying so many people want to come here, and they have to have things in place so they can weed out the fakes and the phonies. We don't want anybody working in professional careers that are not qualified. So I get that they want to ask for things to make sure that they validate and authenticate what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. They're on point with wanting people to come. They just have to make the processes easier for them to do what they need to do when they get here, and hopefully they will improve the situation on the ground. You guys